Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Anytime you get to watch this is Jojo of Demons Media. Now today, let's look at the tragedy that happened in Ghana. It's a sad thing. It's a national tragedy, and people are talking. Others are sharing their opinion. Others seem to have their 2 cents to say. Others seems to understand what may have happened. People are putting all kinds of conspiracies out there. It's a sad thing. First and foremost, I wish the family condolences. His Excellency the President as well, I wish you condolences. But this whole thing that happened, this is what some people are saying, and I don't want to believe it. I want to take it as one of those rumors or one of those conspiracies, right? The thing here is that there were certain persons that were meant to be on board the heli, but last minute they kind of were called off, and certain persons took their place. And I'm trying to understand what is going on. For instance, I listened to General Mosquito, who said he was meant to be there, but then he sent his vice.
I was supposed to be on the flight.
Yes. I know.
And last minute, I directed my vice chairman, who is Dr. Sako, that he should go and stand for the party.
Now, if we're talking about gold stuff, I'd expected the gold board boss, i.e. Sami Jamfi, to be amongst them, but I don't know. Was he too meant to be there and then got pulled out at some point? I understand that Minister of Interior was meant to be on board as well, and then the Minister of Finance had to call him because they had a meeting that he had to be there with them. That's the second person. And then the president sent the Minister of Defense to go because, I mean, if there be anyone at all, I believe, what happened to the vice? Because I thought if the president was not able to go, then what would have happened to the vice? I thought the vice was in town. Or perhaps the vice wasn't feeling brilliantly well, so therefore it became necessary for the defense minister to go in the president's stead. But if you look at the last minute that certain persons were pulled out, it makes the whole thing a little bit something else. I'm not saying anything, I'm not jumping into any conclusion, but from other quarters it looks as if people are speculating that, and once again I'm choosing my words very, very well, it's speculative because we can't really substantiate it, but there's been speculation that this whole thing seemed to be a little bit fishy, like it was a planned thing. Somebody plotted something, and others are also saying that it's lack of maintenance. This is the army. I think if you're looking at one department that they are very immaculate in doing their thing, it will be the armed forces, and unless of course we are saying that there were certain parts that were compromised, and then they thought they could quickly use the vehicle until the part comes in, which we have not been able to substantiate that. All what we know is that it kind of went down and 8 persons on board had, perished, which is a very sad situation. As I said, it's a national tragedy. This is not something that we are supposed to do politics with. This is when we come together as a nation in solidarity, in togetherness, to see how best we can learn from this and do the things that we need to do so that it may not happen again. It's a tragedy. If you look at most countries that has advanced in certain aspects, it takes tragedies like this. I'm not saying that we should wait for tragedy to happen before we begin to do the right thing. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is sometimes when these things happen, it pushes the nation, the country, to put things into perspective. It goes on to inform the politicians as well, that when they come to power, and what the things that they do say that they will do, they look forward and make sure that it is done. It's rather unfortunate. I'm not here to point fingers of blame. If I allow my brain to go, or as I've allowed my brain to obviously wonder a little bit, if it was a plot, it was a planned thing, it would be so sad, because this is Minister of Defense. So for this thing to be planned and executed and succeed, where is our defense then? Then it looks as if it is, then we are not safe, because I'd expected this kind of thing, the intelligence, to have been picked on before it happened. But hey, these things, they do happen. As you being smart, somebody is obviously smarter than you. So sometimes wicked people are able to execute their plan of wickedness and still succeed. It's unfortunate. It happened in America. It has happened in elsewhere. It has happened in the UK. You understand? So it happens. But what I'm saying is that if these things are as people are saying them, then we need to look into, because once again, as I said, this is Minister of Defense, man. That's a heavy position, and I know it has really hit the president big time. That I think it took the president some time for him to be able to come out and speak on it. Your Excellency, we do grieve with you. We do understand what you're going through. It's not an easy time for you and for the entire nation. But at the same time, I'll come in with this one. Apparently, 16 or 15 children perished in an accident. And as it stands, well, correct me if I'm wrong, viewers. I've not heard anything from the ruling party nor from the opposition to have gone over there to mourn with the family. Somebody to go over there and say, we are sorry that this had happened, but we're here with you. I don't think they are more, the politicians are more human beings than the children. What I'm saying is that the family of the children that perished, the 15 of them that perished, their families as well, they do deserve condolences. They do deserve people to go over there and mourn with them. They are Ghanaians. These things that we have certain wickedness and atrocities are happening in Ghana, and all of a sudden it looks as if we are so quiet, we're not talking. This is not Ghanaian. We are very sympathetic and empathetic. What is going on? What is going on? I'm kind of sad and disappointed at the same time as to how we have handled the children's death and how we are handling these big men's tragedy as well. It's a sad situation. It's a sad situation, and it looks as if there seem to be a lot of end of lives, not in the natural way, going on, and we need to look into. We really need to look into. And look, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Holy Trinity. I believe in God. But there are times that we need to look into things and face them head on. If it's investigation, we need to look into investigation and investigate situations as it's supposed to be investigated. If not, then look, it's not everything that we stand out there and we pray, yes, and in everything we are supposed to pray with our season. Yes, I get it, but at the same time, I believe our intelligence is supposed to work as well. Sometimes we need to use this thing that God has blessed us with to look into situations, to look into things, and do that which is expected of us. I understand the president has obviously put together a team to investigate and to come up with this.
And as we mourn, questions about the cause of this tragedy are only natural and important. And I want to assure the families and the nation that the Ghana Armed Forces has initiated a full and transparent investigation into the circumstances of this crash. An investigative board of inquiry has been set up to investigate the cause of the crash. The flight data and cockpit voice recorders have both been retrieved. All 8 of the bodies of our departed comrades have been retrieved, and the government is in close touch with the bereaved families about identification of the bodies and final interment.
I do know the police, Ghana police, they do well. The armed forces, they do well as well. But this one, it's a sadness thing. End of the day, I'm sitting out here ranting. What do I know? But still, this is my take.